quick. Welcome everyone once again to day two of our first ever virtual K-pop summit here at Berklee College of Music. Um, we thank you all once again for joining us for the second day. I know there's probably a lot of familiar faces and also new people that are joining us. So welcome everyone from all across the globe. Um, my name is Matthew An. I am the president of K-pop Initiative here at Berklee College of Music. And once again, this multi-day K-pop event is the first of its kind at our college and is a project run by our club, K-pop Initiative, a student group with a musical, cultural, and professional interest in the rapidly growing K-pop industry. KPI is led by a group of passionate student leaders who have worked very hard over these past months to make this come to life. And so, as the president, I'd like to thank and recognize everyone in our club and all the talented students that dedicated a lot of their time and motivation for this project. And I mean, there's no way that this could have been done with unless we had this wonderful group of people. So, thank you everyone for the hard work. K-pop Summit is also made possible through the generous support of our professional education division, the Global Initiatives Office, the Office of Faculty Development, and the Professional Music Department. We thank you all so much, and sincere thanks to Dr. Darla Henley, Dr. Rob Lago, Mr. Jason Camilio, Mr. Ray Sol, and also Dr. Tim Lee, and also finally, Dr. Heju Kim. I hope many of you have participated in day one once again. Uh, just to recap, yesterday we talked about the past, present, and future of K-pop with Bernie Cho and Eddie Nam, and also had a masterclass for K-pop production with Jay Chong. And we hope to continue this drive as we introduce today's event, first event of two for today. It's a masterclass for K-pop mixing and engineering, co-moderated by myself, Matthew On, and member of Event Production, Casey Ortiz. We thank you all so much. And while David continues to sort things out, I would like to introduce our guest for today, David Kim. David Kim is a producer, mixing engineer, and an alumni of Berklee College of Music who graduated in 2018 in music production engineering. He is based in LA and is an assistant engineer to the one and only Tony Maserati. You would immediately recognize his works in recent K-pop tunes by many artists such as Twice. Some tunes include the Japanese hit Kura Kura, I Can't Stop Me, and the Eyes Wide Open whole album, and Feel Special. He also worked on Breathe by GOT7 and even When We Disco by JYP, and so many more credits, including with Beyonce, Selena Gomez, Mary J. Blige, Adam Lambert, Lucas Graham, Lido, and etc. And after success as an engineer, he co-founded Prowse Records and is an executive professor. Prowse Records is a distribution company located in Seoul, Korea, and bringing extremely talented indie artists, including Lawrence, into the Korean streaming services like Melon and the nation's music scene. And with all that said, let us formally introduce David Younghyun Kim. Everyone, welcome David Younghyun Kim. Emoji claps for him, please.
Hello guys, thanks for being here. I mean, I'm seeing all these people, like 150 people here. I mean, that's amazing. Like you're interested in K-pop and you're willing to be here. And then I'm, to be honest, I just today I'm gonna be honest, very transparent, and then try my best to share all my experience or any resources that you guys are curious about. Sorry for being a little delayed because of the system here. My first time doing this live session with the Zoom. So please stick with me, but I'm here for you guys. So I'm really looking forward to get started.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Um, is everything working out for you there, or do you still need a little more time?
I think we are I'm ready to do some tests here. And then once that's it, I think we're good to go, to be
All right.
honest.
Since we we'll begin with the questions before you go into your sharing
Yeah.
screen and your workflow. So,
Mhm.
Casey, why don't you start us off with some conversations with David?
Yes, of course. So, hi everybody. I'm Casey. I'm a member of the KPI club. I just started, and I'm very excited. I'm so happy that you guys came here. I'm very delighted, um, Dr. Kim, for coming here as well. And again, so it has been mentioned that you are a Berklee alumni. It is great having you here. We are all excited, and I was wondering if you could tell us a little bit about how Berklee has helped you get into the mixing and engineering. Did you always want to do mixing and engineering?
Cool. Yeah, of course. So, please cut me off if I talk too much, because we have only 1 hour. And I don't mind going over a bit. So, first of all, the reason I came to Berkeley is for yes, is to learn music production. First, I want to be good at writing songs, and I wanted to be the best. But I realized that music production and then sound designing is now one of the tools to express our music out to the world. And then that's like something like technology in a way that you need to learn. And then I came to US when I was 15. So I went to high school in Colorado. And then I was just really eager to learn music because in Colorado there's no such like places that you can learn there. And then all I was doing is playing drums at a jazz band for my high school, and then doing some like musical theater, like music engineering kind of thing at high school. And then I wanted to step up and to learn how the music is being made in the US industry. So I was just Google search, and then I found Berkeley has an awesome program, MPNE and CWP, which I majored in. At the end, I had to drop CWP, but so that's how I found Berkeley. And then luckily, thankfully, I got in Berkeley and then MPNE right away. And then I started learning and doing all the sessions like you all whoever majored in MPNE, you guys all know like 2 to 6 a.m. sessions and everything. I was one of the guys like you guys like trying to book the session at 6:30 p.m. I think at that time. Like, yeah, I was one of the guys trying to learn and then be expert of using the studio, running the studio, communicating with the people to run a project, to get things done like in time. um yeah, so that was my start, and then the reason I chose Berkeley. And then how Berkeley helped me out was a lot. First, Berkeley, guys, Berkeley is a really, really good community. It's not only the school that you just take classes and get good grades about it. It's not about that. It's about the community that you're building around your people. So that was my mindset. So class was just stepping stone to meet people and just build your friendship, how like relationship with your friends. And then throughout your friends you just gotta do gotta do projects, just releasing like singles with those peers. So you just gotta have to like build your team. So that's how I was getting help from Berkeley, is they just set a pipeline for that kind of stuff. And then Berkeley has great programs, MPNE, and then my professors at MPNE, they help me a lot to get insight of how this music business or industry is going like. And then I did stage crew, and then that really helped me to train my ears and how to communicate with musicians, and then how you can troubleshoot in a short amount of time without any issues, something like that. So always like living as an engineer is you're living under a pressure. Like you're always behind of such tight deadline, but you need to be very professional. You can show any anxious to the clients. You always need to be, you're gonna be handle it with no issues. So stage crew was really helpful, and then actually one of the senior engineers at Tony's, he's also Berkeley alum, but he did a stage crew too. So that's that was really helpful. And then yeah, I mean, I, I don't want to talk too much. I want to like interact with you guys. If you guys, you guys can jump in with any questions if you guys want to hear more details like at certain points. So that's it. And then what else? Like there's a lot of like programs or opportunities, such as like I went to AES competition. This is like you submit your project of your mix, and then there's a lot of school in the states and internationally, they select certain students to be competitive at this AES. So I was able to do that. Also, there was a lot of internship opportunities that you guys could get. So I did this all the possible opportunities, even like the like a master class like this. I was like literally one of you guys just sitting and watching you how this person got to that stage. And
Yeah.
then like master classes at Learning Center. I don't know if you guys still call that Learning Center or Media Center or Ampany. They're inviting great producers, engineers there, and then BPC as well. There's a lot of panels coming to Berkeley, to
Yeah.
talk. I just participated as much as I could because I'm a international student. I just need to see and learn how those people think and then do all this stuff in real time. So
Yeah.
yeah, I was one of you guys. So you guys all doing fine. Seems like
Yeah. I
so.
mean, that's a perfect segue because, as us, you are also uniquely the only Berkeley alumni guest from our whole session, our whole summit. And I think that's appropriate for us to ask these specific things for the Berkeley students that are watching, the people who are interested in going to Berkeley. And as you mentioned, going to master classes and seeing these producers, engineers, seeing them up front, we wanted to know what led you to connecting and working and now being like partners with the one and only Tony Maserati, who was responsible for so many K-pop and American pop artists. How did that connection form? Was it during school, or was it during? How is it you reaching out separately, or what allowed that connection to form?
Okay, so I said earlier, I'm just gonna be transparent. No, nothing. Okay, so uh, so I was selected for AES student like mixing competition. I was able to go down to New York to participate, and then thankfully I got awarded. But aside of that, AES convention, they invited all the like legendary mix engineers and engineers like CLA, Tony, and Gregwell. So you name it, they were all of those people were there. And then me being there, always I was looking out for opportunities, and I knew Tony mixed couple K-pop records, and then same thing. I was just watching Tony talking at Waves plugin uh, presentation, and then I asked him a couple questions at the convention, and then after the event, I just walked to him, you know, and then I knew he was a Berkeley alum. I knew he was also majored in MPNE. I knew he did a couple K-pop records. I knew he did a mix for Beyonce, but other than the Robin Thicke, Shawn Mendes, and then all those like artists I was referencing, and I did sound like one of his songs that he mixed. So I was very familiar with his work and his career. I just walked to him. Hey Tony, uh, I'm from Boston, Berkeley. Do you need help? And then he said, where are you from? I said, I'm from Boston. And he said, no, where are you really from? I mean, not due all the respect, you know? I mean, yeah, I mean, I'm from Korea. So can you speak Korean? Yes. And then he gave me his email address. And then, and then that's it. I just took a picture with him. And then later on, I attached the picture for the initial email to him saying, hey, this is me that we met at the convention. I'm still interested in working with you if you need anything. And then for that email draft, I got help from the professors. And then I had to go to this there's like English tutor service for like I forgot all the stuff, but you guys actually can get like free English tutoring if any international students there. So I had to meet those people like twice to fix my grammar and all of stuff. And then my one of my favorite professor, Carl Betty, he just retired, but he guided me what to say, what not to say when
Wow.
you emailed Tony. And then I just emailed him, but after like 3 weeks, he didn't respond. So I asked Carl, yo, Carl, what should I do? And he said, he replied and just send it again without any additional notes, so that the email is like bumped up to his email list again. Tony is he's busy guy. He's the most wow, yeah, he's grinding every day. He
Oh
works
yeah, I bet.
hard. So being at
Mm-hmm.
that position is not easy. He works harder than us, like 20s or 30s. He works hard. So, but luckily, but after I did that, he replied 20 minutes right after. He said,
Oh
cool,
wow.
reach me out when you're in LA. So I dropped CWP. I just got, I just like say, yo, Berkeley, I'm out. I'm done. So I just like, yeah, I'm just gonna grab diploma only. I'm not gonna care about a degree at all. So diploma is fine. So I'm leaving. So they said about the like the departure process, and then that was like in November, and then I just wrap up quickly and then just left. So
Oh wow.
yeah,
Wow.
I mean it's nothing, right? It sounds easy, right? I mean, someone
Yeah.
said things like, "Oh, I mean, that sounds really easy, but it is." But sometimes it's like I call it like this is something that you guys cannot expect or cannot plan. It's
Right.
something that just happens magically, and then sometimes God set this up. Like it's like nothing to do with me. I'm just there, and then just try my best. Every time I look for opportunities, then when I have the opportunity, I just nail it. You know. So
Yeah.
that was it.
That's very well said. I mean, that's a reminder to everyone, um, you always just gotta use the connections you have and just continue to spam emails to that one person you want to be with, just like David did. And then one day, you're gonna be working with them forever. I mean, that's crazy because like that connection has been basically creating, I mean, pathed your career and it made you move to LA, but then now you're actually uh, created your own company. Casey, why don't you ask him about that for us?
Yeah, so you had started a company, which is exciting. Um,
Thank you.
so again, how did that process go? How what were you thinking? What and like how did you start it? What were the things that you wanted to achieve? Were there any goals at the end of the tunnel that you were looking forward to with this company?
Yeah. So one of the other reasons I entered or I committed to do music as my career is to improve the industry. I didn't really like the like the fact that the music industry is not fair and then very not transparent, especially in Korea market. So
Mhm.
I was hoping if I could do something else. So I was always like looking out for any resources that I can do something for that. So I did two startup companies while I was at Berkeley, and then I finally met this great guy, my co-founder, HJ Park, and then we started doing little projects while we were at Berkeley actually, and then we had the same vision, and then we started talking, developing ideas. It took almost 2 years, 3 years until we set this company up. And then my vision for this company is like I said, I want my company to be bridge between the US market and Korean market, and especially for independent market with the vision of being transparent and then fair contribution. That was my two keywords.
Right.
And then I want to have everyone to have fair opportunities and a fair amount of payments, and then and where those payments are coming from, all that kind of stuff. And then I'm a generation like you guys. I'm only 25, and then I was growing up with this system that no one tells me what to do, and then they're just like, yo, this is the way it is, just follow it. I'm like, no way, I'm not gonna do it. And then someone else has to do it, but I'm just hoping that I could be part of it. I don't know if I can do it, but I'm just the one of the guys that, okay, if I see something else, I'm just jumping on it and then see what happens. So that's why I made this company. So I luckily recently we partner up with Carter Hugo Schneider. He's one of the biggest YouTuber.
Yeah.
And then Lawrence, their music is amazing. They're based
Wonderful.
in New York, and then we're just starting partnering with a lot of production group in the States and then in Korea. So we have two offices in LA where am here, and then in Seoul, Korea. So I'm doing all the U.S. business matter, and then my co-founder Nikki and HJ Park, they are dealing with all the Korean aspect. So
Right. Yeah,
yeah,
right.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
yeah,
And you had mentioned that you wanted to bridge the Korean market with the Western market, because in both sides, in both industries, there are things that are different. And personally, what do you think are those differences? And as you said, you wanted like a middle ground. Like, how do you bridge those two industries together?
wow. Uh, to for a short answer to that, uh, it's a very big topic to be honest. And then I want you all start thinking about that because this is something that I can do it for myself or my company. This is the community like start thinking how we can make things better and then be a better relationship between US market and Korean market. So biggest difference first is culture is the language. And then the initial system that Korea has and US, you know, the United US has is first like economy. It's the money, the budget
Yeah.
is way different. And then the way they collect money is different. And then in Korea, I don't know if you guys know, but label company can be the distribution company can be blah 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 blah. But in the US, it's not like that. There's a lot of companies that handle their own stuff, but in Korea, it's not. It's a small country, really really small country. It's smaller than California. Imagine
Yeah.
that. So the budget in the industry is different and then the system in the industry is different, so can we change it? No. So we, like you, Casey, like you say, we have to find a middle ground that we can make things better. To
Yeah. Um.
be honest with
s-
you, I don't have answer. To be honest with you,
Yeah.
I'm just putting my all of my time and then try to figure things out, you know.
Yeah, I agree with you. I apologize. I think we kind of went over time with the technical difficulty and stuff. We do want to actually move on to actually you showing your workflow.
Okay, so I'm gonna play a whole song for you all to hear the sound, and then I'm gonna jump in right away, and then just throw the questions, and then I'll answer everything.
익숙해지지 않았어 사랑을 받는다는 건 내 달콤한 한마디가 내겐 bullet in the heart 그때의 나는 어쩐지 품이 작게만 남아 널 넘쳐 흘려 보냈어 Baby we've been just falling apart 못 답인 우리 사이엔 손틈으로 새어나가 버렸네 그때는 내게 우리가 없어서 지금에서야 찾고 있나 봐 I need you back to me babe Don't need you 그만할래 제 못 들은 이 밤이 끝나길 바란 mayday 부질없는 가사에 흘려보내는 맘 이젠 이런 노란다고만 Baby are you in there You're in my dreams all night 내 앞에 있는 나 꿈이라는 걸 아는데 너 여전히 차가웠고 어쩔 줄 모르는 난 바보같이 눈물 흘리는 날 두고 넌 계속 멀어져만 가 너만 떠나면 깨끗해 너라는 적을 없앤 채 내가 잘라버린 너의 mind That I owe you nothing at all 다 내 잘못이라는 말은 그만 그걸 몰라 이런 노래 쓰고 앉아 있진 않아 나 텅 빈 정류장에서 I need you back to me babe Don't need you 그만할래 제 못 들은 이 밤이 끝나길 바랄 때 부질없는 가사에 흘려보내는 맘 이젠 이런 노랜다고만 Not anymore Not anymore Not anymore Not anymore Not anymore Not anymore 익숙할 수 있었다면 사랑을 받는다는 걸 네가 건네는 마음을 왜 이미 모두 늦어버린 깨달음 다 의미 없는 회상들 My day I will be fine
Okay, and I'm seeing some comments here who sang it. I mean, Joey Yoon, she sung it. She's a Berklee alum too. And then, yeah, so that's it. So once this proto session is open again, I'll show you how I approached it, and then how I did. But it would be awesome if I can solo the tracks. I mean, that's the point of the master class. But let's see if that works. I mean, the worst case, I can share the listen to link for you all. So each of you guys will have to just go to the link and listen to it. But I don't know if that's the system. But I'm so sorry, guys. But
No worries. I mean, it always happens. Last minute Zoom things. There's just malfunction and stuff. You know, it happens. But you know, we're gonna work with it, guys. But thank you all for still sticking with us.
okay, so I'm seeing the comment. Listen to is great. So let's see.
Even if we can't actually hear from what you're doing on Pro Tools, maybe you could at least go through each track and just speak through like what plugins you use, how you're balancing things, how you're panning things. Maybe we could talk about those kind of things. if the Pro Tools session is not actually playing.
Okay. So yeah, what are the key difference between US sound and K-pop sound? So key difference is the vocal production is the key difference. Also the compression, amount of compression they are putting into the track. And then I want to show that why that's different. So yep, we cannot hear it. So like Matthew said, I'll just scroll down on the how.
Yeah, let's just go through it that way.
So,
now you might actually be able to change the playback engine to the computer audio interface.
yeah, okay, but okay, let me
Let's
see.
just go through what was planned. Sorry.
Okay. All right, nothing.
Yeah, let's not worry about the sound anymore. I think it's just an internal issue. So
Yeah, okay. All right. So first of all, when I start mixing, uh, let's see. So for this song, we are. Why am I playing myself? Hello.
yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. Okay. So okay. Let's see. How should I start it? Okay, this song I started with mixing the instrumental. Like you guys heard it, it's very lo-fi, and then it's really darker, and then usually K-pop it's really bright, and then I approached it to have a fair bit amount of similar balance between vocal and then the tracks. So on the kick, I all I did was boosting some low frequency. I used the tube tech here, but like you guys all see, I'm just boosting 30 hertz here, and then it's a little reduction on the low mid area, because if that's getting overwhelmed, the low end is gonna be be lost, and then that's when you guys will hear the compression uh, between the tracks and then the vocal. So low end is the key to control to make the tracks punchier. And then I use a little bit of a vintage tape on the kick, and then I use a SPL transient plugin, and then I increase the attack of it, and then lower the sustain of it. So it's when you guys hear like a booming kick sound, this is one of the quick tip for you guys can try out. So in order to do it, I really wish I can play the solo, but yeah, I mean this will cut through. This will allow the kick cut through the mix better, and then same for the another sub kick too. Uh, I'm also seeing all the comments here too for you all to do it. Okay. And then snares, little like reduction on the high frequency area, like 3K, 4K. I'm thinking when you're putting, so I don't want to make things harsh. That's just my mix direction. And then for smoother vocal production and then vocal mix, you don't want to have the other things competing with the vocal. But this is the frequency area that you guys might want to reduce if you guys like that sound. Same for the other clap sound, and then this is the hi hat. But see, I'm reducing a bit of a fair bit of the high frequency area. I can't believe I did the same thing here too. This is the hi-hat track, and then this is a percussion. Look at this. This is I'm calling a 2.8K, and then I'm adding tape saturation to add some of the um, like tape saturation gives a lot of like this really good bodiness of the sound. Same reason for decapitator here. So very minimal. I didn't
Right.
compress a lot here, and then these drums go to this drum group, and then I didn't put anything on here, and then these groups are going to my mix bus chain, and then I have this parallel mix bus here, and
Just
then
real quick, David, can you zoom in a bit? Your screen
oh,
is a little. Um,
yeah, is this oh how do I zoom how do I zoom in here? You know?
oh, I think it's fine. It's fine.
Okay. I mean, yep. So mix bus. So that's a how these drums are going to, and then I'll come back to this mix bus topic later. And then if I scroll to bass, so bass, this is a really good quick tip. I mean, look at this, how much I cut into here. So you guys can listen to the track again when it's released, but you guys will hear a very good amount of bass. But but cutting this bass frequency, like a low end frequency, sometimes it cut through better. Sometimes it depends on the track. But try this out. I mean, you guys think to have a thicker bass track or thicker kick track, sometimes this low cut or low balancing just low frequency area, it helps a lot. And then adding some compression here, and then this is I like culture virtue in general. It gives a little bit of distortion to the bass, but if you guys think you guys are lacking the bass sound overall in general, try putting some distortion plug into it. It'll cut through to the phone speaker or laptop speakers. So, this will allow you to have puncher bass and the thicker bass. And then that's what I do here. Just a little cut on the 100K and then 150K hertz. And then this goes to a bass group again. And then I use the curve bender EQ. And then see, look at this. I boosted 1.2K and 10K area like 1.5 dB and 1.5 dB. Yep. So again, like sometimes if you guys don't have much clarity on the bass, that's when you guys lose the bass impact to the track. And same for not same for, but look at this is the synth track, I think keys track, and then I'm just controlling the low end business here, low frequency. I don't want to get overpowered by the low frequency here too. And then EQ here, and then digital V3. So there's a stereo riff function. I don't know if you guys can see it, but this is where I'm talking about. If you guys increase it, it gives like a wider stereo image. And then this plugin has mono section and stereo section, and then most of time I only use the stereo section only, which is this section. I just boost the high end of the stereo, so left and right. Going down, and this is the horns in the core section, and just doing this, and then some compression here. So I don't know how you guys think, but really I use the minimal plugin setup, minimal like compressions, because I want things to be open, and then I don't want things to get pushed and compressed a lot. So back to the first conversation, the difference between K-pop mix and US mix is compression. And then I want to deliver some open sound, like not compressed sound over to Korea. So that was one of the approach to this mix for this K-pop indie song. I wanted to show this is the way I mix, you know. Okay, so going into the lead vocals, so these red tracks are lead vocals, and then I'm putting DSers, Pro DS. Why I use Pro DS? Because it's cleaner to me. It doesn't touch, it doesn't change the treatment of the vocal, in my opinion. And then, most importantly, is do you see all these edits I did? So this is all the S's, you know, like where you hear like all the harsh pronunciation, like all this sound. I edited manual. I lower it in the on the clip gain, and then I added the DS here, and then just a general like a low cut here. And then this goes to L Vox mono aux, and then I added a little tube processor, SPL, and then another compression. I love LA to A stuff. It's just and then mainly passive massive, I think, and then I boosted 820 hertz, 1.5K, a little bit, and then 12K air frequency, and then again. So on Pro Q3, there's a dynamic control, which is similar with the multiband compression. So usually, if this is a normal EQ, and then if you click it, and then if you control this outer side of the knob, this is the dynamic control. So I'm controlling this harshness frequency area with this dynamic controls. You know, this works as same as the multi-band compression. So that's how I did it. And then this is the first two section, and then this is the rap part. So I gave all different treatments to these different sections. For example, verse 2, I added the SSL channel, and then this like whole this unit gives like another like set of the processing sound. In my opinion, I mean not everyone agree with it because you barely hear it, but it's more like you feel it, not hear it. So same for the rap. This Clariphonic plugin, it gives like a little punchness to the vocal, more clarity to the vocal. But be careful, this can be really harsh to the vocal, and it really makes the vocal thin. So you need to use it wisely, like in various situations. But in this case, for this song, worked really well. And these are the ad libs, and then these are printed from the production stage. It has like all the reverb and delays here, so I didn't do much. So I am one of the engineers that love to communicate with producers and then the label. So the things that they loved, I just let it happen in the mix. That's just the way I communicate and I work. Also, this is there's a doubles here, nothing much. Again, the S's here and then some EQs. So this is the background vocalist singing the same part with the lead vocal. But obviously they got each tone of the vocal, and I don't want this vocal interfere the main lead vocal. That's why I call a lot of high frequency. So a lot of times mixing is not about hearing. It's sometimes more about how you feel it. So that's one of my approach for this double vocal. And then these vocals are the from the lead vocal. So just a general EQ in here. And then I use the Fairchild tube compression. Just a really a slight gain reduction. I don't really compress too hard. Like it doesn't go more than a -3 dB gain reduction. Really slightly. And then EQ again, like to get rid of the harshness. That was the main vision and then direction of the mix. I don't want to make this song very how do I say it? Like very bright, you know. I want to people just enjoy the music without like having any like, harshness issue. So moving on, this is a rap doubles. Look at this, nothing. That's it, simple. Just controlling this like a low mid area, and then there's a little bit of a volume automation here. So that's it. The harmonies, same thing. It's EQ, the rap BGVs, they are like more like ad libs during the lab. I look at this, didn't put anything here, just the two DSers, and that's it. And then some volume rise. Um, and post chorus, same thing, just EQ like this, and then for these vocals too. These are the effects tracks that's printed from the production stage. So let's patch that. So that's the overview of the session that I had. I'm so sorry that I couldn't play the solo of the track. So invite me again, guys. So
Oh,
I
no
can
worries, no
go for
problem.
masterclass next time. So I'm gonna go a little deeper if if we have more time, maybe.
Unfortunately, I think, like you just said, we will definitely have another session in the future. Due to time, we do have the second session at in 30 minutes, so we cannot extend the session any longer. I think we would have to stop soon. So um, maybe in the future, definitely in the future, we will go over more in depth in an actual masterclass with no malfunctions or any errors. So I think we'll have to do that for a future time, if that is
Yeah.
totally fine with you.
10 more minutes. I'm seeing
Um,
a lot of questions here. No?
let's see.
Couple more.
Maybe we could maybe take one or two, and I think maybe one question, but we do have to end it. It is getting a little uh, short on time. I know the technical difficulties took a bit of it.
Okay. So,
We'll just take a quick question from Nicole. Please, sorry, but make it quick, please. Thank you.
yep. So I'm gonna share my screen again.
Nicole, can you unmute?
Okay. Yeah. Just a quick question because I've been struggling a little bit while mixing my songs. So the question is, how can I make the mix sound clean without eliminating the fullness of it?
So again, that's all the compression. So sometimes you guys are compressing too much. That's gonna make things hard to make things open. And then don't look at measures. I didn't EQ too much here. Some just let the original sound like speak it, and then you just control it as you need it. So it's again just you need to just feel it. If you need to bring up a volume, just bring it up, and then if that's something interfering with, just do a slight EQ adjust, or sometimes just cut the low end. Try that. You know, visual you shouldn't get distracted with the visual EQing. You just need to just hear it. And then,
Okay.
yep.
Thank you.
Thank you, Nicole, and
That's it.
thank you, David. Um, Once again, if you could stop the screen share. Thank you so much, everyone. We thank everyone for being very understanding and patient with us as we go through our technical difficulties. We thank everyone so much for staying till the end. We will definitely have David, Young Hyun Kim back once again, and hopefully even on campus. Just quickly want to thank everyone in the event production team for helping with the back end of Zoom. And we thank you once again, David, for coming here for this precious hour. And we're going to end it off with one of another David's mixing work. Here is Plus One by Flora. And thank you everyone for coming again. We do have another session in 30 minutes. See you there. Thank you everyone. Have a nice day.
Your love is like a heat wave. Yeah, it's got a sweet taste. Can't describe the way I feel. 시간이 가는 줄도 모르게 think about you day and night. 솔직히 난 너의 맘을 아직 모르겠어. Tell me that you love me, but do you really love me like I love you? Do you really need me like I need you? Yeah. Is it really summer when it's cold? Is it really rich if it's gold? Yeah. Slow down, boy, 'cause life feels fast with you. 'Cause life feels fast with you. Don't fast forward in times two. Slow down, boy, 'cause I don't wanna rush our love. I think it's fate from above. It's better when it's 1+1. Better when it's 1+1. 어두워지는 우리 불빛 언젠가 붙어보는 눈치. Spend time with me, come hang out with me, come sit down with me. 나를 바라보는 눈빛 예전 같지 않은 느낌. Would you feel with me? Could you stay with me? Do you wanna spend the night with me? Tell me that you love me, but do you really love me like I love you? Do you really need me like I need you? Yeah. Is it really summer when it's cold? Is it really rich if it's gold? Slow down, boy, 'cause life feels fast with you. 'Cause life feels fast with you. Don't fast forward in times two. Slow down, boy, 'cause I don't wanna rush our love. I think it's fate from above. It's better when it's 1+1. Better when it's 1+1.
All right. Once again, thank you, everyone. See you later. Once again, this was the K-pop Virtual Summit. Bye, everyone.
Thank you all for coming. I'm sorry for all the technical issue.
No worries. See you soon.
Yeah, I'll do this again. Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Bye.